If you are over 60, chances are you've spent most of your life working hard, taking care of others, and doing what needed to be done. You showed up for your family, for your job, for your responsibilities, even when it wasn't easy. And now, as you enter this new chapter of life, something begins to shift. Life is no longer just about pushing forward or collecting more. It becomes about choosing better, choosing peace, joy, and purpose. But here's something people rarely say out loud. Living better sometimes means letting go. Not adding more to your schedule or your to-do list, but gently removing what no longer serves you. And one of the first things many people over 60 need to release is saving from a place of fear. Saving money is wise. It's responsible. It's something most of us were taught to do. But when saving becomes a way to protect against everything that might go wrong, it can steal the joy from the very life you worked so hard to build. If your basic needs are covered and your future is secure, ask yourself, what am I still waiting for? Money is not just for emergencies. It's also for moments, for memories, for saying yes while you still can. You don't have to spend recklessly, but you do deserve to spend bravely. Not with guilt, but with gratitude. Because this season of life isn't just about surviving. It's finally about living. Now that you've given yourself permission to spend with confidence rather than fear. There's another important step: spend with intention. Because after 60, every dollar you use should be an extension of your values, not your habits. Too often, we spend money without even realizing why. We buy things because they're on sale. We give gifts because we feel obligated. We collect gadgets, clothes, decorations, subscriptions, not because they bring joy, but because it's what we've always done. And over time, all those small choices add up, not just in clutter, but in emotional weight. I once spoke with a woman in her early 70s who told me that for years, she spent thousands of dollars on clothing she never wore, kitchen tools she didn't need, and presents she bought because she felt guilty saying no. But when I asked her what purchase she remembered most, she didn't mention any of those things. Instead, she lit up as she told me about a $600 plane ticket she bought to surprise her sister on her birthday. They spent the weekend laughing, crying, and staying up late like they were kids again. She said, "That trip was worth more than everything else I've bought in the last 5 years." That is the difference between spending and spending well. After 60, your money should support connection, comfort, curiosity, not clutter. Maybe for you that means traveling more. Maybe it means investing in your health or paying for weekly dinners with friends. Maybe it's buying that reclining chair that finally lets your back relax. And here's something important. Joy doesn't always come with a price tag. Sometimes the richest experiences are completely free. Sitting on the porch with someone you love. Sending a handwritten letter. Walking through nature without your phone. So before you buy something, pause and ask, is this bringing me happiness, or just filling space? Spend wisely, spend boldly, but most importantly, spend on what makes your life feel alive. For most of your life, time and money have been tightly connected. You worked hard, earned a paycheck, and built stability through effort and discipline. Whether you loved your job or simply did what needed to be done, your time was exchanged for income, day after day, year after year. But after 60, the question shifts. It's no longer just, how much money can I earn? It becomes, how much life is my time worth? There is nothing wrong with continuing to work. In fact, many people thrive when they stay busy. They enjoy the structure, the social connection, the sense of purpose. If your work still energizes you, if it makes you feel alive rather than drained, then by all means, keep doing it proudly. But if you are only working because you're afraid to stop, then it may be time to reevaluate. I once knew a man who had been a high school teacher for over 30 years. When he turned 62, people kept asking, "So, when are you going to retire?" His answer was always the same: "When I stop loving it." He kept teaching until age 67. Then, one morning, he woke up and knew it was time. He walked away peacefully, not with regret but with gratitude. That is how work should be in this season of life, a choice, not a chain. Because here's the truth most people don't realize until it's too late. You can always make more money. You cannot make more time. Once a day is gone. No paycheck can buy it back. So ask yourself with honesty, are you still working for joy? Or out of habit, are you trading precious time for security you may already have? If your job fills you with purpose, keep going. But if it drains your energy, steals your peace, or keeps you from experiences you long for, then perhaps it's time to stop trading time for money and start trading time for meaning. The fourth thing to release after 60 is the habit of putting life on hold. How many times have you said, someday I'll take that trip, someday I'll learn that skill, someday I'll visit that old friend? But here's the truth, someday is not a real day on the calendar. I once spoke to a couple who had dreamed for years of driving across the country in an old Airstream trailer. They had the time, they had the savings, they talked about it every summer. Next year, we'll go. But next year kept turning into, maybe later. Then one winter, the husband had a health scare. It wasn't life-threatening, but it was a wake-up call. They suddenly realized they had been waiting for the perfect moment that might never come. So they stopped waiting. They packed their bags, hooked up the trailer, and hit the road. 6 months later, they sent me a letter that said, it wasn't perfect, but it was unforgettable, and we wish we hadn't waited so long. That's the power of choosing action over hesitation. So let me ask you gently, what have you been postponing? A class you've always wanted to try? Reconnecting with someone you miss? Writing that book? Planting that garden? Dancing again, even if no one's watching? You don't need perfect timing. You don't need everything planned. You don't need permission. Because often, waiting isn't about timing, it's about fear. Fear of change, fear of looking foolish, fear of finally putting your own happiness first. But here's the beautiful thing about life after 60. You've earned the right to say yes. Yes to experiences. Yes to adventure. Yes to joy. Even if it's imperfect. You are not too old. You are not too late. There are still chapters waiting to be written. So instead of saying, one day, start saying, why not now? Your memories are waiting. The fifth thing to let go of after 60 is the habit of putting your health on the back burner. I say this with love, because I know many people would rather talk about finances, family, even politics before they talk about their health. But the truth is simple, without your health, you can't fully enjoy anything else. Most people think about retirement in terms of how many years they might have left, 10, 20, maybe 30, but the real question isn't how long you will live, it's how long you will be able to live well. Would you rather have millions in the bank but wake up every day in pain, exhausted, unable to do the things you love? Or would you rather have modest savings but the strength to travel, play with your grandchildren, cook your own meals, and move freely without fear? Almost everyone chooses the second, yet strangely, many of us live like we're choosing the first. But here's the good news. Health doesn't have to be complicated. You don't need to become a marathon runner or follow a strict diet to make progress. Small steps taken consistently can change everything. Start by walking a little more each day, even 10 minutes counts. Drink water instead of sugary drinks. Eat real food, not just convenient food. Stretch in the morning. Join a gentle fitness or mobility class made for people your age. Even light strength training can work wonders for your balance, energy, and independence. Because this isn't about chasing youth, it's about protecting your freedom. Your body is not just a machine, it's the vehicle that carries you through every experience you still want to have. It deserves regular care, not as punishment, but as gratitude. So make that doctor's appointment you've been putting off. Take that first walk. Cook one healthy meal this week. Just one. Because health isn't built through perfection. It's built through momentum. And the best time to start is not someday. The sixth thing to let go of after 60 is this. Stop living your life based on what other people might think. For most of your life, you've likely carried responsibilities as a parent, a partner, an employee, a friend. You did what was expected. You put others first, and maybe you didn't complain, even when it was hard. That sense of duty shaped you, and it was honorable. But there comes a moment in life when you must ask, who am I living for now? I once worked with a woman in her mid-60s who had always dreamed of taking an art class. She had raised children, cared for aging parents, Worked full-time, but that dream sat quietly on the shelf for decades. When I asked her why she hadn't tried yet, she said, "What if I'm not good? What if people think it's silly at my age?" And I told her something I'll tell you now. So what if they do? She finally signed up, and it changed everything. Not because she became an incredible painter, but because she finally did something just for herself. No apologies, no guilt, no explanations. That is what real freedom looks like. After 60, you have earned the right to dress however you want. Say no when you're tired. Speak your mind without softening your truth. And pursue joy, even if no one else understands it. This is not about being selfish. It's about being authentic, so you don't reach the end of your life wondering, what would it have felt like to be fully myself? A hospice nurse once wrote about the top regret of people nearing the end of life. Do you know what it was? I wish I had lived a life true to myself, not the life others expected of me. Let that sink in. You don't need approval to live boldly. You just need permission, from yourself. The seventh thing to release after 60 is the constant habit of feeding your mind with negativity, especially through endless news and media. Let me be clear. Staying informed is responsible. Ignoring the world around you isn't the answer. But there's a big difference between being informed and being emotionally flooded. If you spend hours each day watching the news, no matter which channel you prefer, your brain begins to believe that the world is nothing but chaos and danger. Politics, disasters, scandals, division, it never stops. And when your mind is constantly absorbing fear, your body carries it too. Anxiety rises, hope shrinks, peace disappears. Let me ask you honestly. Have you ever heard someone say, after watching 3 hours of news, I feel so much better about life? Probably not. But I've met countless people who said that once they cut back, they felt lighter, calmer, more optimistic. They laughed more, slept better, started noticing beauty again. Because here's the truth. Most news isn't designed to inform you, it's designed to capture your attention. And fear is one of the strongest ways to do that. So, here's your invitation. Watch the news, but with limits. Choose when to check it, rather than letting it fill the background of your day. Balance every negative story with something uplifting: music, nature, comedy, learning, connection. After 60, your attention becomes one of your most precious resources. You get to choose where it goes. You can focus on everything that's broken, or you can focus on what's still good, kind, joyful, and possible. There is still laughter in the world, still generosity, still beauty, still hope. So don't let constant negativity steal the peace you've earned. Stay aware, but stay free. Your mind is a garden. Be mindful of what you plant in it. The eighth thing to let go of after 60 is financial avoidance and financial obsession. Two sides of the same coin, both equally draining. On one side, there are those who avoid their finances entirely. They say things like, "It stresses me out, I'll deal with it later," or, "I don't even want to look at it." But ignoring your finances doesn't protect you, it leaves you unprepared. After 60, clarity equals peace. You don't need to know every technical detail, but you do need a simple, realistic understanding of your income, your expenses, and your safety net. How much do you need each month to live comfortably? What happens if your health changes? Do you have someone you trust to help manage things if you can't? These are not scary questions. They are empowering ones, because knowing gives you control. Now let's talk about the other group, the overthinkers. These are the people who check their accounts daily, stress over every small purchase, and ask, what if taking this vacation hurts my long-term tax efficiency? To them, I ask gently, what is the purpose of your savings if you never allow yourself to use them? You did not work, save, and plan for decades just to stare at numbers on a screen. Money is not a museum piece, it is a tool. Its purpose is to support your life, not control it. So here's the balance. Check mark have a plan, but don't be ruled by it. Check mark check your accounts, but don't obsess over them. Check mark talk to an advisor, but also listen to your heart. A great financial plan isn't just about preserving wealth. It's about enabling joy. So yes, be wise. Be responsible. But once your basics are covered, allow yourself to live, let your money do what it was always meant to do. Give you freedom. The ninth and final thing to let go of after 60 is the illusion that you have endless time. I don't say that to create fear, I say it to awaken gratitude. By this point in life, most of us have experienced loss. A parent, a sibling, a lifelong friend, someone you once spoke to regularly is now only a memory. And in those quiet moments of grief, we are reminded of something we already know, yet often ignore. Life is not unlimited. We all say we understand that, yet we still put things off. We wait for the right moment. We tell ourselves, one day I'll do it, when things settle down. But deep down, we know, things never fully settle. So let me ask you a powerful question. If you knew with absolute certainty that this was your final year, what would you do differently? Who would you call? What would you say? What would you stop tolerating? What would you finally begin? Most people know the answer instantly. They feel it in their chest. But then, they go back to living the same way. So today, instead of waiting for a diagnosis or a crisis to wake you up, let this be your awakening. You don't have to change everything overnight, but you can take one bold step. Call the person, write the letter, plant the garden, book the ticket, speak the truth, try the thing you've always wanted to try. Because the goal is not to live in fear of death, it's to live in respect for life. You are here. You are breathing. You still have today. And that is enough reason to stop waiting and start truly living. Let go of the idea of forever. And embrace the gift of right now. So let's take a final moment to remember what truly matters as you step into this powerful chapter of life. After 60, you are not being asked to do more, you are being invited to carry less. Let go of saving out of fear. Let go of spending on things that don't bring joy. Let go of trading time for money when meaning matters more. Let go of postponing experiences that make you feel alive. Let go of neglecting your greatest asset, your health. Let go of worrying about what others think of you. Let go of the constant stream of negativity. Let go of financial avoidance and financial obsession. And most of all, let go of the belief that you have forever. Because you don't need forever. You only need today. Now, I want to ask you something deeply personal. What are you ready to let go of? Starting now? Is it a habit, a fear, a routine you've outgrown, a silent pressure that's been weighing on your heart? Take a moment, name it, and if you feel comfortable, share it in the comments below. You never know who else you might inspire by speaking your truth. Because aging is not a story of decline, it is a story of becoming. Becoming lighter. Becoming freer. Becoming who you were always meant to be. At Elders Insight, we believe life after 60 isn't about stepping back. It's about stepping forward with wisdom, intention, and courage. So thank you for being here, for listening, for choosing to grow even now. Many people stop evolving as they age. You didn't. And that alone makes you extraordinary. If this message touched you, share it with someone you care about, a friend, a sister, a spouse, someone who deserves to be reminded that it is never too late to live more gently, more boldly, more joyfully. Until next time. Live lightly, live fully, live now. And before we go, I want to leave you with this. Life after 60 is not about slowing down, it's about becoming more intentional. You've carried responsibilities your whole life. Now it's time to carry joy just as proudly. So let me ask you. What is one thing you're ready to let go of starting today? A fear, a habit, an expectation that no longer fits who you are now? Take a moment to reflect, and if you feel comfortable, share your answer in the comments below. You might be surprised how many people feel the same, and how your words could inspire someone else. If this message spoke to you, don't keep it to yourself. Send it to a friend, a sibling, a spouse, someone who deserves a reminder that it's never too late to live lighter, freer, and happier. And if you'd like more guidance, encouragement, and practical wisdom for this chapter of life, hit subscribe, follow, and come along on this journey with me. Because growing older isn't about fading away. It's about showing up more fully than ever before. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you in the next video one.